Hello everyone, welcome to eSupport for Research. Today we will discuss how you can able to come up with a quality research paper. And to know that, we need to understand few component of it. First thing that you should understand is that when you are doing research, that is what you are looking for, or you are in search for knowledge. And when you are in search of knowledge, your outcome, the research outcome, can be the paper that you will be publishing. So your published article or paper will be a permanent record of your research which you will be doing or which you have done, and it will give you passport to enter into the scientific community. So now you understand what is the benefit of it, and now we'll see what sort of motivation or what are the different factors that basically will trigger or will help you to go forward or to initiate this research journey, or you are just thinking to write a research paper. It can be of different factor: contribution to the scientific society, self-satisfaction, self-motivation. In my case, I can relate with self-satisfaction and self-motivation. Then publish or perish pressure is there, which is, we say, self-denial. Somewhere we have self-interest. So self-interest and self-denial, if we can able to have a balance over here, then also we can able to manage and we can able to proceed forward, and we can think for publishing a research article. So now we'll see, you have a reason to start or to write a article or a manuscript. Now what you have to publish? Basically you might be thinking you can publish anything, but few things, yes, you can publish anything, but within a ethical boundary, when we can do that, will help you to have a longer goal or a path or a journey. And having a ethical or knowing a ethical boundary, then basically it will help you to have your research within that sort of boundary. And you should always look forward to have something new or original that you are planning to do, or the research that you are doing. So in terms of result or methods, and it should touch like the advance of knowledge, or basically as you are contributing something to the scientific society, so your outcome has to be something or something addition which is already existing. So you need to understand certain scientific field to write a research article, and what you should not be publishing is which is already outdated work, which is already published, which is incorrect data, then lack of scientific study. So this thing you need to avoid. And on that already I have few videos on research and publication ethics. You can visit the playlist. And for Indian researcher or PhD scholar, that is a mandatory course, so you can go through all those videos as well. As we are here to see how you can come up with a strong manuscript or a quality article, two component as a overview of it, I can say, with good content. Yes, you need to have good content, and you need to present it well. So this two is you have to make a balance out of it, and we'll see what exactly we are talking about. So now you have done your literature review, and you have already done your experimentation. Then you are into selecting a particular type or document type which you want to publish. So it can be original research, as if you are doing research like PhD, and the outcome of PhD, once you have completed your experimentation or you have come up with the result of your hypothesis, and you come up with sort of result, and you want to present it, all the outcome, all the finding, then you can go for research paper. There is something like rapid communication and letter. In that case, people who are working in scientific field where so many work is going on, and they need to publish it in a quicker time, as if they have come up with something, some new finding, and they want to report it quickly. So they can go for rapid communication, where the length of the article might be shorter as compared to the research article, whereas the average length you can see from 15 or even from 10, 8 pages to even it might be 15 or 20 pages, whereas here even you can have 3 to 4 pages also with a short or later communication. Whereas review article, you need to have strong command over the field, or if you are getting invitation from the editor or from the publisher to write a review article, you can do that, because they know that this particular author has having a command over that particular field and he can submit a review article. Even PhD scholar can do that if they have done the literature search in a state of art manner, and at least 100 plus on an average references need to be cited. That means you have gone through those many number of articles while you have done the review. In case study, you can relate with the medical field, where it can be for single subject or even group of subject. Those are in observation, and their case can be reported. The finding on the ongoing, let's say condition or problem, they can report it. Here, meeting, abstract, paper and proceeding, you can relate with the conference also, where there will be gathering, you have to present your work, and the outcome can be the conference proceeding. Whereas again, there will be debate, there will be so many queries, and you have to have your argument over what you have done. So basically it will help you to improvise, and later on the extended version can be submitted to a journal. So that also you can think of. So these are the different type, document type. Even I have a video on document type, that can also, you can follow Scopus document type, that is there. Then we need to understand what will be a structure of a paper, as we are talking about a quality research paper. So in a simpler manner, if you will try to understand, let us take a human into account, like me standing here. So here the head portion of it, now we can relate with the title, abstract and keyword. So as you know, the face, the significance of it, once you want to communicate with someone, or if we correlate it with your article, somebody look into your article, the title, abstract and keyword, if it is strong, then only they might read the introduction and other component. So this introduction, method, result and literature review, you can keep it in the trunk area, and the conclusion, acknowledgement, references and supplementary, the lower limb. As we know, each part of a human body that signifies something and that have their own importance or significance, so we cannot omit anything. So in that way, if you can correlate, so it will be easy for you to understand the importance of each component. So now you know the structure of it. Now let's quickly see the order of preparation of your manuscript. So the structure, as you can see, the title, abstract, introduction, even the keywords, then you have literature review, then you have methods, then you have result, discussion and all that. But here, when we have already done your work, your experimentation is being completed, and you have your finding, so better you should have ready with your figure and table. That carries a vital sort of weightage. When we look into any paper, their figure and the tables, the way that is being represented, that also carries weightage. Then the methods, you have to have the stepwise methods that you have adopted, so that if somebody like to reproduce it, he or she can do it. The result, discussion, conclusion. So you see, up to this you have, then you can come up with the introduction, then the abstract, then finally the title you can frame once you have everything ready. Then keyword, acknowledgement and references. So in that way, if you can process while you are drafting your article, it will be easy for you to prepare it, and even you can refer to the standard template that are available for the journal that you have thought of submitting. So this is one of our latest paper which is published in a Springer journal, Research on Biomedical Engineering. As my work is in the healthcare, my primary work, so this is published in this January 2023. So you now will try to understand, basically if you look into a research article and if we can correlate, so it will be easy for you to understand. So the first thing, as I was talking about having a quality research paper and the article and the structure that you need to understand, first thing here is your title which you have written over here. So the title has to be brief, which may carry 5 to 15 words, not too long title you should have. Then appropriate, informative, clear, and you should avoid unnecessary symbols. Then you have here is your author list. So author list only, as here I mentioned, is the scientific contribution of the research and have agreed as co-author. So that consent you should have taken earlier before submitting your article to any journal or anywhere, so that you should know. On that, as I was talking about the publication ethics and co-author conflict, all sort of videos I have already uploaded in my channel. You can visit those as well. Then you have here the abstract. So when we talk about abstract, it concisely states the objective, scope, research, and summarizes the result. Again, there are two types of abstract. One is structured abstract, one is unstructured abstract. So structured abstract, basically, if you see here in this particular paper published version, it is structured abstract. The aim and objective is displayed, the method, result, and conclusion with the subheading. With the subheading, all this has been clearly mentioned within the abstract. So that is called as structured abstract, and it is not unstructured abstract. But unstructured abstract should also convey the same thing which is structured abstract is conveying, but they may not have, or they will not be having this subheading. So that is the difference. Then you have the keyword, and it signify, or it should be specific abbreviation with care and only well established one. There are, like, if you refer to any journal like IEEE or any other journal, even there are journal, they have their own keyword, designated keyword, and from that listed keyword only you should be able to select and you should be able to put it over here. Because when somebody search your article, they will be using the keyword while searching. So that is one of the important thing. And when somebody read your article, then also they will look into the keyword. So their field of interest, if it will be aligning or they will find in the keyword, they might read your article and they might cite your article. And then you have the introduction, where what is the paper is all about and why should the reader care about. So this introduction should tell about all these things. What is your paper is all about and why the reader should read it in detail. Because it should not be a kind of a story. It should have some sort of citation, cross citation, so that the author or the reader, they can able to understand what you are trying to convey over here and what finding you are going to display in the next section. All that can be done. Even few author, what they do, many of the manuscript nowadays, they have the author contribution, even the key finding with tabulated or with bulleted, not tabulated, in the bulleted font. It will be written like 5 to 6 key finding can be written within the introduction section. Next we have here is the related work or the literature review. So the literature review or literature search is not about finding relevant paper, because that is basically we try to find out all sort of relevant paper, and let's say 100-200 paper we got, But while reporting them in your paper, the way you need to report, that should convey that it is about reading the relevant paper. It should be in line, or it should be aligned to that. So that is what about literature review, that the point you can take into consideration. Then we have here is the method, or the methodology. So in that section, material method section, you can you need to have in detail. Then how the result were generated, that information has to be presented. Reproduce the result. So if you have that way of presentation, if the reader will go through it, they should be able to reproduce it. So the method should be clearly mentioned. If mathematical model has been done, then you have to come up with that, like the algorithm has to be mentioned. Even stepwise, if you can able to do, then it is good. Then novel method, then you need to present over here, justify the experimental design, all sort of thing you need to take into consideration. And then you can see this is another extension of this method section. Here even the figure is also giving you sort of information. With if somebody will look into this block diagram without reading into your the description of it, he or she should able to understand, and even the scientifically it should convey the whole process of your paper. So then only the interest will be generated among the reader, and they might look into your paper. So next is the experimental result. Here you can have the experimental result, or you can write the result also. So this result part, it should be well crafted with relevant statistical value. Visual like illustrations such as table, graphs or figure, it need to be presented properly. Many of the time when we do read, or when we do review paper, by looking into the graph and table, somebody can tell you, or the reviewer can tell that there is something fishy in that paper, or they have not seriously worked on that paper. So they might ask you to revise, even they might reject your paper based on improper. If you just simply copy paste from any external sources, no citation, nothing, then you will lose it. So this is what that you need to take into consideration. Again, this is just to show you the figure and the table, how it is being presented over here. You see this is the table and this is the figure. You can have your own style of figure, that is up to you, but it should be having some high resolution with proper labeling, with proper labeling of each component of it. Then the title of this figure, everything has to be proper. Here, as I have put it over here, it may not be visible as clearly, but if you look into a standard research paper published in journal like Elsevier, Springer, IEEE, indexed in SCI, so you can able to understand how they have written, or how they have come up with their finding, and they have represented it. So basically that will help you to have sort of understanding that how you should able to do. And there are tools to generate image, even to generate tables and other thing, that also we'll discuss in the future videos. Then here the discussion section. So in the discussion section, you need to understand that it should be general principle that is more widely acceptable, that you need to describe there. Then any problem or shortcoming encounter, that also you need to report over here. Then relate to any of the result, that you can do. Then support the conclusion. Your description should support the conclusion, and logical argument to be given. Even cross citation and comparative table can be presented in the description section, as like here as you can see, comparative analysis has been done over here. Different method has been taken into consideration, and the method, this is the proposed one and these are the existing one, and there is a comparison between the accuracy, F-score, recall, precision, and all sort of thing, statistical measures, so that the reader can able to understand that these are the methods that were already adopted, and in this particular method they have come up with this accuracy or this finding. And again, they can have the scope, whether they can have the scope on working on this model or to improvise the presented model, that is up to the reader. Next is the conclusion. So when you write your conclusion, you need to brief the summary of the result, and the discussion should be more than a summary. Then the findings should be emphasized again in the conclusion, because I have in my earlier video reading a paper, there I have given you by looking into the title, abstract, and the keyword, and then the conclusion, somebody can decide whether to read the article completely or in depth or not. So again, the references, again here I have not mentioned acknowledgement, but you should mention the acknowledgement if you have taken help from someone else, and you try to try to give sort of acknowledgement to the institution if you have received some funding from another institution or from external sources, even somebody has helped you in the research process. So those can be kept in the acknowledgement if they are not eligible for the co-author. Then the references, that is on ethical point of view, you have to refer that then the actual source to be referred over here. There are many papers that might be published on that same area, but you have to refer the original source and even the secondary or the other sources as well. Then, and it should be accessible by the reader when you are putting the references, and again you have to keep it in mind on the journal template as well. So in that way you should report it. Even nowadays journal are doing their formatting, but you, while writing a research article, you should adopt to a particular format like APA, IEEE, or any format, so that it will be easy for the reviewer to understand what you have, how you have cited and what you have reported over here. So this is about the references. And next thing is the tips. Just focus on the reader interest. Quick tips: clarity and conciseness has to be there. Then what you need to avoid is, when we talk about avoiding something, then too many equation, resembling figure, too many tables, word like new or novel for the first time. Indirectly you are reporting, but you should not be using new or many time, new, novel work, my work is novel, me, we, that also you have to avoid. Even it is better to write something in the passive tense. Then the grammatical and typographical error, unethical approach, and plagiarism. So again, this plagiarism, I have so many videos on that, different types, and the ethical guideline for the Indian researcher. So, and thank you for watching this particular video. Please do like and subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed. And for there is an announcement, those who want to have this sort of information in Hindi language, I have another channel, that is e-support for research Hindi. You can subscribe to that channel as well. I'll be coming up with more videos in that channel. Thank you again. Thank you for supporting.